Hello and welcome to the Chequamegon-Nicolet National Forest. And this time I'm going to be showing you 4 campgrounds. They're all fairly small along the Mondeaux flowage. I'm going to have to pick one of these to spend the night, but the 4 campgrounds are Picnic Point, where I'm standing next to now, Westpoint, Spearhead, and Eastwood Campgrounds. Now, I am not going to be spending the night at Picnic Point, but I'm going to give you the tour there first because it is tent only and there's only a couple sites. So we'll go down, check those out, some small walk-in sites and see what they're like, and hopefully I'll be able to show them to you because it's a Monday evening and chances are they're going to be pretty quiet. Now, surprisingly, in this little campground, there are reserved sites. So this is not a first come, first serve, small, tent only campground. And on top of that, so because of our location on the water, $18 a night, $18 with a golden pass, or $9 with golden pass. What's that big number there? You have the ability to reserve the entire campground if you want for $75 a night. If you do that, you can block off and have all of this to yourself and your friends, which is kind of neat. So let's take a quick look around. Now, it's kind of hard to tell who has what. There's a little boat ramp here for campers only on this little point. This is site 1. I guess you tell by where the fire ring is. So there's a first fire ring. Second fire ring is here, completely surrounded by the tables. So that's site 2. Let's see if I can figure out where site 3 is. Oh, and the water source here has been tested and is not safe. So you need to bring your own water in. I got a fire ring way out here, so that must be 3. What you call your site is up to you. It's tents only, so. And can I find the 4th one? It's over beyond that stump is the 4th one. So you're kind of over there. There's a vault toilet. Now let's take a look at the water. This is a very pretty point. So if you were to come here with a group, which would be fabulous, block this off, bring a collection of paddle sport, kayaks and canoes, and just come and go as you please. This is absolutely beautiful spot. So if you want to reserve this, go to recreation.gov and look for Picnic Point. You can reserve an individual site, not knowing how many other people will be here. You can do this first come, first serve. If something isn't reserved when you show up, you can grab that, or you can reserve the whole thing for a group. What a pretty spot. I gotta go find a place to park my van for tonight. Let's go on to the next campground. The campground's right there in that bright spot over there. But just up here is part of the trail access for the Ice Age Scenic Trail. So you can stay here if you're hiking the Ice Age Scenic Trail. Not a bad spot. Then I might want to reserve so I know I'm going to get it if I know I'm hiking by here. Literally 3 minutes drive up the road, I'm at Westpoint Campground. Down that road. Let's go see what it's like and maybe I'll spend the night here. I believe there's 10 sites here. Maybe a little more. I'm not sure. We'll find out in a second. These are $15 a night. This one is not going to quite fit my needs because I'm looking for a little more access to see the sky tonight. It should clear up and I may still be able to catch a little bit of the meteor shower here in August. So I'm going to walk you through this campground. This is all first come, first serve. So I'll just let you know if it's worth coming and checking out. We are on a point, so there is access to water for all these sites, but they're not calling them premium waterfront lakeside sites. Okay, officially 13 sites. This is the camp host site over here. As you come in, on the right is site 1. Nice grassy site. Great tent site. Site 12, pretty long. Again, first come, first serve. You come and see if this works for you. Site 2 over here. Site 11 over that way. And there may be a path down to the water from some of these. I'll look down one of them at least for you. Site 3 over here, more of a wooded side. Let's go take a look at 10. Now, if you want to know if it is reserved, you check the tag. I'm here on the 14th, so this is a tag from someone who just left after the weekend, so it would be available. But like I said, I'm looking to see the sky tonight, and this is not the site for me. Nice, big site. I don't know roughly what they left with the wood, but great place over here to set up your tents. There's trails running around along the water here. You can look out on the flowage. And you can get down there. It looks a little rough down there. Now, Picnic Point did not have garbage available or water. They suggested you come here to use the dumpsters here to get rid of your garbage or just pack it out with you. Pit toilets over here. And this Class C is in Site 9. Trying to get some solar in there, but that's a challenge at this place. This is Site 8. It's on the water side, but it looks very wooded. There's a big parking area over here for some reason. And then I'll take you around this loop, and that'll be the whole campground. Site 4 over here. And here we have the water wrapping back around. And there is a little trail heading down there, and it is actually staircase. So let's take a look. Always amazed at how much effort has gone into making these stairs, these National Forest campgrounds. And there is a trail that kind of runs around the whole campground. I am betting you're going to hear the frogs at night here. Okay, Site 5 seems a little more isolated from the water, but there is another trail down that way. Site 6, I think, has the best view, and they've set themselves up with a view out into the water. And then our last one is Site 7 here, since we're kind of working our way in a weird way. And this one also has steps going down to the water out back. Another great small little campground. Looks like over this past weekend it was fairly booked up. People grabbed most of the sites. Probably a nice quiet one out here with only 13 sites including the camp host. I still see a few posts that didn't have reserved stickers on them, so it wasn't completely full. And right now there are 2 campers, 3 if that CRV was a camper or just somebody parking there. We're going on to the next campground now. Check that one out. Just another 5 minutes or less down the road, we are now at Spearhead Campground. Let's go check that one out. See if this has got a site that'll be perfect for me tonight. I might be spending the extra $3 for a lakeside site. Well, I got a site at Spearhead Campground along the flowage here. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully it's brighter than it is, but we'll look the other way. How does this way look? Still looks pretty bright. It's a gorgeous spot. Premium site means it has its own pier. I got my little pier here. Clear water too. Let's go take a look at my site. Got these wonderful stairs leading me up. None of the sites are like you're camping on the water. They all have some sort of access like this, little piers. Whoever was here recently, I don't know what they did here. That's a mess. This is my side section. For some reason we're crammed the table between the 2 things there. I have all my room here that I could want. Pit toilets right at the end of that path. And I have this really long drive. I'll give you the full tour in the morning. And this is on a little cul-de-sac out here. All of them are reservable sites out here. And this one is 15. Now, I played the game. I'm here on the 14th. I'm leaving on the 15th. Next people don't come in until the day after that for several days. So I can still grab it on a first come, first serve basis. Look how far away my van is. That's crazy. All right, good morning from Spearhead Point Campground. It wasn't the woodpecker that woke me up in the morning. Morning, buddy. I'm sure now you're quiet. It was the sun beaming into my van this morning that woke me up. I happened to pick a spot. I had no idea that the sun was going to just come beaming right on in. So it was a bit of a wake-up call. I had intended on getting up in the middle of the night and going out and taking a look at photos of the stars. I did look out. It was perfectly clear. There were thousands of stars, and I decided I just needed to sleep. So, I'll take another look down here at my dock, which is just such an absolutely gorgeous spot. And then we're going to do the full tour. Now, before I give you the campground tour, site-wise, I'm going to show you there's a day-use shelter in the middle. It has a fireplace in there. Someone actually had a fire going in there last night. And you come down the hill, and hopefully this will adjust, with a bigger dock than the individual site docks. And I cannot imagine what this looks like in the fall. This has got to be absolutely gorgeous. I forgot how many sites are here, 20 something I think, or something like that. But I'm going to give you a pretty detailed view because most of these are reservable on recreation.gov. But I can't be as detailed as I'd like to be because this truly is a popular campground. And there are quite a few vehicles here and people camping this Monday night or Tuesday morning now. So kind of surprised me. So yeah, this one you do need to think about reserving if you want a specific site. There are plenty that I could have slipped into for the night, and I was pretty happy with what I found. And in case I didn't cover it yet, $15 a night for a basic site, $18 a night for the premium sites, which are basically anything that's got a dock. $7.50 if you got your golden age, and $9 of course with the golden age for the premium sites per night. And we'll start with site 1 over here. Now this is going to be a little confusing because we immediately get a split. So I'm going to have to do whatever's here and then down that way, because this is kind of a little small loop. It's a very confusing campground. Okay, site 1. So this one's just this little pull off on the side of this bigger road. But let's check out its access. Many steps later, quiet little spot on the water. So yeah, site 1's big and wide. I could have been quite happy in that, not a problem. And it is a premium and reservable. Site 2, not with a dock. Reservable, but the $15 a night. So it's pretty deep. It is a pull through. Goes out that way. Looks like it used to go that way, but they blocked it off now. So this is a nice pull through. Okay, site 1's up there. 2, come down. This is site 3, premium site. This is huge. Strangely, the grill would be right behind your rig if you could get a big rig in here. This one's a little lower on the hill, so a shorter walk down to its dock down there. Site 4, also reservable, premium site. It's huge and it hooks around. You can see, you can go straight back and park a rig over here, or you can hook around the corner to where they've set up. Okay, site 4 was down there on this little side section. This is the main loop. So across from there is site 5. And this one backs up to a pit toilet, so you got that convenience factor for only $15 a night. It's pretty big and fairly flat. Alright, site 6 on the inside here. A little bit of a slope down. You can kind of see it on the picnic table there. Hi, chipmunk. But still fairly large. Reservable. Got another split again, so there's a little spur off over here. We'll check that out. And then there's one site I'm going to have to come back to. Site 7 on the premium end. Okay, we're looking at site 8 over on the side here. It's fairly long, it's not straight, and it enters way down here. If you need simple and straight, you can go straight back here, but then the whole site hooks around there to expand it. And again, that's on the water. Coming out and across the road back to the inside is site 9. Not one of the longest, but still pretty good, except there is a little drainage erosion there that will give you a dip coming in. So a little nice tent pad off the side. Now the next 2 sites were booked together last night. You got site 10 over here, which is the simpler site where housing was for this group, across from the day use shelter. And then they also had 11 over here, a premium site, which was home base where they spent most of their time. Okay, past 11, we get the main road goes that way. Campground house is there. We got the spur that my site is on, and this little cul-de-sac down here. Now, Site 11, even though it was right next to the day use area and its pier, the pier at 11, if you were sitting over there quietly, no one would know you were there. You do notice when you're playing the accordion, though. That group had an accordion last night. Alright, Site 12. Do a lot with this. It's got a downward slope. They've used it excellent. It wouldn't be the best RV site. They got their boat trailer, everything going on here. Premium, obviously, on the water. There's nothing on the inside of the sloop, so they're all premium here. 13 here, not the deepest site. Is a premium site. 14 over there with truck camper. Now, this area goes off to a whole separate point that is only really accessible from these two. You're gonna have to work your way back and in. And that brings us around to 15, which is my site. And if you can see, my sign's there, my van's way over there. It is so long. All right, site 16 is the campground house site, and it is a sweet site. It's practically like they have a front yard in that one. They've got their porch swing out there, looking out onto the water. It's absolutely a beautiful site. And it's even set way back. Alright, site 17 here. Pretty nice long here. Got a little branch right here though. Coming back. Nice side section over here. This is really wide. And then there's stairs down to the water down there. Okay, site 18. Still a premium site. This one is got enough room for a rig here. Or even more room there. And it just keeps going. If you want to hook it, you can bring it around the corner and hide away a little better. And even then, you know, a lot of room for some tents, kitchen tents and things like that over here before we get to its water access. Man, I wish I had seen this one. I didn't see this one last night. I grabbed the first good one I saw. This one's a little shorter down to the water. A little unstable on steps. Is that bright enough for you? Still wouldn't have seen the sky from here though. Too many trees. Do not expect to get solar in any of these sites. You might catch a little spot here in the right time of year for a half an hour. These are not sites for solar, and there's no power out here. Alright, we'll go check out the boat landing before we finish this off. Long road down. Little sandy ramp in. Great place to put in your paddle equipment and very small fishing boats. Alright, site 19 here is in a cluster. I got two porta potties, the well over here, and the new National Forest sheds. So I still don't know what they're used for. Nice basic site. It is a standard site. It is not a premium. So it does not have access directly down to the water. But you're right next to the boat ramp. Alright, this is site 20. It's got a little slope up coming in and then flattens off. Not a huge site, not a premium site either, but also still reservable. Site 21 on the water side, but not a premium site, so it doesn't have a dock access. It's fairly long and fairly flat. I'd say mid-sized trailer or something, or however you want to tent to use it. Again, reservable. Site 22 on the inside, very long site. Plenty of room for anything in there. And then it widens out in the back and flat. Site 23 over here, very short site. Nothing big here. This would just be a good tenting site. Site 24, very exposed to the road. This is not the entrance is over here. So it's fairly flat up there, and then it slopes down towards the table. Now we got the main road coming in, splitting off, and that one is reservable. Okay, heading out the exit entrance now, site 25. A little rough. This one is not level, not smooth. Slopes off to the fire pits, not recommended. Site 25, sorry. Site 26 slopes up, rough roots, then it's flat. Looks like somebody had to spin to get out of here at some point or get something back up in here. Fairly flat once you're up here, not a premium site. Site 27, slopey up here. So not the best for a camper, for a rig here, unless you can really hook this 90-degree corner and get up there. It's still not the best for that, but pretty nice tent site. There's even a tent pad over here. There's lots of room to work with up here. Again, all of this is gravel. Not the most comfortable to sleep on. It's not a premium site, but it does seem to have a trail heading down to the water, but probably doesn't have its own dock. And just past the entrance to the campground here is another trail heading off onto the Ice Age Trail. So if you want to stay here in the campground and take some day hikes on the Ice Age Trail, you can do that. But this wonderful big green space here is not for parking for the Ice Age Trail. So don't try to do that. It's not a trailhead for it. It's just a place where you can camp and do a day hike. But just past that, little trail coming down here towards the water. With a bench. So that's Spearhead Point Campground. That's number 3 in this series of 4 I'm giving you in this video. I'm going to head back to my site now, get myself some breakfast, make my plan for the day, and then hop over and show you the last campground in this grouping around this flowage. So I'm in the middle of the short drive between Spearhead and Eastwood Campground, where I'm heading next. I come across this large parking area. Well, the parking area is for the Aldo Leopold Commemorative Trail. It's a 1.2 mile trail that kind of takes you out and back into an area overlooking some of the flowage and some other nice little protected areas out here. So if you're out here, something to check out. It's still morning, got low sun. All right, just a few seconds later, actually right through there's the trail to the Aldo Leopold Trail. But here I am with the really old playgrounds. I'm going to show you some of those in a second. And the dam is just over there. And there's a beautiful beach here. So a beautiful day use area here. So if you're in one of these campgrounds, and actually one of those points over there is actually part of Spearhead Point, is actually right over there. And then Eastwood's over there. So it's very convenient to a lot of these other campgrounds that are right here. And you can probably bike here quite easily if you wanted to. Let's go check out that old playground equipment. I can't believe the condition this stuff is in. This is the kind of stuff that existed when I was a kid. This is old. And it looks fabulous. You get on there, you pump on those. I remember riding those as a kid. Those are great. Basic old swings. too high for most kids to get into. Wow, those are up there. Classic jungle gym. An old metal slide. These stuff is in pristine condition. This one's even got a cage though on top, so it's a safer one than some of the others. Well, here's a tip. There's showers here. Well, there's this wonderful little facility here at the dam that not only has showers, because none of the campgrounds do, but it also has some sort of concessioning. It doesn't open until 11, but the showers look open if I could figure out how to get a token, if they're token, I don't know. And we are on the Ice Age Trail here too. Let's take a look at the dam. Well, now I'm really glad I combined all four of these campgrounds together, because they are kind of a cohesive unit around this flowage with these other facilities accessible to them, and the Ice Age Trail running through all four of them. And now for my last stop on this little tour around this flowage is Eastwood Campground. Alright, we have less than 20 sites in this campground in a loop. $15 a night, no premium sites in this loop, and a little less than half, I think, are reservable on recreation.gov. The rest are first come, first serve. Let's go take a walk around that loop. Alright, just to give you the heads up, my van's way down there now. Walked a bit. I'm finally coming up on site one on the outside, so this is a remote site. First come, first serve. Grassy entrance here. Comes back into the woods. You want your secluded wooded spot. This is it. About 30 to 40 yards away is your pit toilet for that particular campsite, and then campsite 2 is just up here. Site 2, another nice wooded site. Site 3 is just over there, so it's not as secluded as 1. Although it's not exactly on top of its neighbor either. First come, first serve. Site 3, very close to Site 4. Again, nicely wooded site. These don't look like they get a lot of love. It's very mossy in here. Site 4, another wooded one. This one loops back around over that way. Site 5, wide entrance, very wide site. Going back quite a bit, but a little bit of an open slope. First come, first serve. You decide if it works for you. Between sites 5 and 6 of the campground host is Ice Age Trail, so that'll run you down to the dam. Campground host at 6 in an old Dodge RV. Site 7 on the inside of the loop. Goes back quite a ways. Still not reservable. First come, first serve. And I believe the rest of the sites are all reservable on recreation.gov. Another pit toilet. And site 8 over here with a ravine running down next to it, behind it. Reservable, and this person just grabbed it on a first come, first serve. There are a couple parking areas that look like they used to be sites. Actually, there's a former site there that they've trenched out, so you can't use that. So if you're staying here, there's probably a good chance you got a place to park a boat that's not in your site if you want. You got the well over here, which is an old Baker pump, or a Baker pump, I shouldn't say old. Site 9 over here, reservable. I'll show you this one. This one goes straight back. It's a downhill slope, but then there's definitely a sort of separate section over here by the fire ring that steps down, and this rock is defining that. All right, 10, reservable, and actually has a reservation coming up. That's the first one in this campground that's seen with an upcoming reservation. It is big. I can see why this one, if someone knows about it, would grab it. It's got a lot of room in here. It does slope down, and it levels off enough. And it does have a primitive trail down towards the water. Not as nice as what they had over at Spearhead. Site 11, not quite as big as the last one, still pretty big. You can still get a large RV in here if you want without any problem. Remember, you're totally dry camping out here. This one's got a nice tent pad that looks well maintained back here. I'll show you that. This is very nice right here for a tent. And the last site, 12, reservable. Not huge. Doesn't look like it's a lot of love because it's kind of grassy, which is unusual here. But it'd also be great, not just for an RV, but for tenting on that. That's some of the softer stuff I've seen to put a tent on in this collection. And this one kind of has a little ravine, light ravine going down next to it. So that is the series of 4 distinctive campgrounds along this flowage with a dam recreation area, Ice Age trail running through, all sorts of activities. Bring your bikes, bring your paddling equipment, and enjoy this area. It's a beautiful spot. Thanks for coming along on this journey. This is part of my National Forest in Wisconsin, Chequamegon-Nicolet National Forest tours. I've finished all of the ones over in the east. I'll have an entire playlist here of those. And if you also want to check out my playlist of Wisconsin state parks and state forest campgrounds here, you can do that. Thanks for coming along. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Get on out there and watch out for deer.